So while April was much more busy than May in my personal life, I feel like this month was way busier in my reading life. Does that happen to anyone else? It's kind of funny that life reading balance thing. Anyway, let's talk about May. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back with another monthly wrap-up, this time for the month of May of 2022. We are just trucking along through this year. It's just going by really, really quick. Anybody else? Just seems like that, maybe to me. I don't know, but guys, there is lots of things to talk about for the month of May. Lots of crazy new things happen on the channel. It's hard to believe after 3 years, you can still have new things happening to the channel. But, you know, when it all comes down to like the algorithm and things like that, I don't know how this works. You know, we're just kind of in this together. But hey, let's begin like usual, guys. Talk about what I read. In the month of May, I read 7 books and 1 manga. So 7 books, 1 manga. Let's go ahead and talk about those individually here. I did read, the one manga was Berserk Volume 35 by Mr. Kentaro Miura, rest in peace. It's a thing that was kind of a long time coming. Is a lot of people have been like, hey, when's the next Berserk review coming? And things like that. Guys, this arc was really long. It was the longest arc out of any of those. And I've always said that, you know, the written word is obviously going to take priority here. And I just, not going to lie, I kind of struggled with this arc a little bit. So when I do review it, which I don't know when, you don't have to pop in every video and ask me when I'm going to do the next one. If you actually watch any of the videos, I tell you that I will let you know before I do that. Keep an eye on the weekly updates. I'll tell you when that review is coming. But you may not be happy with it, so there we go. Next up, I did do the Warlord Chronicles, the whole trilogy by Bernard Cornwell. This is The Winter King. This is Enemy of God and Excalibur. And I know I say his name wrong. Some people say it's Bernard Cornwell. Some say it's Bernard Cornwell. I'm saying Bernard because, guys, I'm an American, and that's just how it looks. And I've never actually heard it said out loud. So there we go. But I did love that trilogy quite a bit. I did do a review for the whole thing on the channel, and lots of new people are showing an interest to it, and I hope that they do go ahead and pick it up, because I did have a great time with that series. Yeah, I think it's not hyperbolic to say I think it's going to be one of my favorite trilogies of all time when it is all said and done, because I did have a blast with it, and I think everyone should check it out. And then we can resume the Dark Tower reread, which is a part I'm doing on a read-along on my Discord server. I joined theirs. This isn't my read-along. I joined theirs because I was kind of doing it in the order of Into the Multiverse, and I was like, man, I'm going to be like it's going to take me like 3 years to read Dark Tower this way. So I decided to go ahead and buck that schedule and kind of just join on along with theirs. And I did do Wolves of the Calla, which is Dark Tower number 5. Now this is kind of the turning point in the series, because this is where I went from like, this is all I can think about, to oh well, I see some cracks in the foundation maybe. But in this reread, I didn't have nearly as many problems with Wolves of the Calla as I did, you know, when I had waited 6 years for this book. So I think that you have all those expectations and things like that, so that's always going to kind of play into it. But I'll get into it when I do my review for it and Into the Multiverse this month. But we'll be anxious to see what happens with Song of Susanna, because yeah, we'll talk about that as well. I continued my run through the Cradle series with book number 2, which is Soulsmith, and I think I'm going to break some hearts here, guys. I don't think I'm going to be continuing with that series. I really just do not think it is for me, because I know everybody tells me, oh, at book 3 it's like night and day, but I'm like, did you have to like books 1 and 2 though? Because I really didn't. It's nothing against the writing style. It's nothing against anything that people love, guys. Just sometimes you got to admit, some things aren't for you, which really sucks, because when there's something as popular as Cradle, you want to be a part of it. You want to love it. I just couldn't make myself care, guys. So I'm thinking that this whole progression fantasy or lit RPG or whatever it's called, it just may not be a thing for me. And you know what? To be fair, there were a lot of people who said, you know, Mike, knowing how you're not really into anime and things like that, I don't think it's going to be for you. So, I mean, like I said, the only manga I've read is Death Note and Berserk. And I never saw this obsession with gaining levels and gaining XP and stuff. Like that series seems to be like, just literally, they'll be in life or death situations. They're like, wait, you've got to progress to the next level. And I'm just like, I love Final Fantasy, guys. I don't like reading about someone grinding for XP, though. So maybe it's just not for me. I don't know. I'll listen to feedback, and enough people tell me that things change enough. I might at least give book 3 a try, but as of right now, I'm leaning towards this just probably isn't going to be something that I really get into. So we'll talk about it more in depth later. And then, of course, Boy's Life, which I also did a review of. That was my first Robert McCammon book, and I did enjoy that one as well. So as you can see, guys, quite an eventful month. I really, when I made this list, I didn't think I'd be able to get all the stuff in because I didn't know how quick I was going to be able to read the Bernard Cornwell stuff. And the thing was, like, I wouldn't call those light, airy, breezy reads, but I couldn't stop reading them. So I think I read that whole trilogy in about 10 days. So great stuff. And yeah, lots of things that were just awesome this month. You know, I mean, Soul Smith aside, I think I liked everything I read this month. So yeah, you can't ask for more than that when you're reading this many things at once. But let's go ahead, guys, and talk about that book of the month for May. Now, I don't count rereads in here, so I can't count Dark Tower. That's the only reread that I did this month. And now, look, guys, this was close. Now, I thought you'd think that last month was pretty close. I had like a three-way battle between books, and John Gwynne prevailed. With this one, it's kind of coming down between 4 books. It's coming down between each one of those Warlord Chronicles books and Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. Now, here's the thing. I really feel like Warlord Chronicles is one story just put into 3 volumes, kind of like a First Law trilogy or the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It is just one story, and it's just kind of split into 3 breaking points where it just is just one continuous story. So if I feel like if I could count that whole trilogy as one, it would probably win. But since it's my own rules and I cannot do that, I'm going to go with Boy's Life. And I think the reason for me with Boy's Life is, guys, you know, if you've watched this channel at all, coming of age told from the eyes of a preteen is usually something I'm really interested in. It's something I really enjoy. However, not very many people are able to land that except Stephen King. Actually, I think Stephen King's kind of like the measuring stick for me. I don't expect anyone to beat that. But I never really got that same feeling with anyone else. Maybe To Kill a Mockingbird, something like that might be about the closest, I think. This actually did do it. You know, and a lot of people have told me, Mike, as much as you love Stephen King and you love coming of age, I think Boy's Life or Robert McCammon in general will be something that you just absolutely love. And I get that a lot. Well, you like Stephen King, you need to try this author, this author, this author. I never feel the same. But this is the first time I said, yeah, this is kind of giving me that same feeling right here, you know, of when I read Stephen King coming of age stuff. And guys, Boy's Life was just a beautiful story. And there's a reason that I pretty much broke down almost in tears at the end of that video, because there's something about that book that just jogs some childhood memories that you probably haven't thought about in a long time. So I think if it can actually touch you that way to where you can remember stuff from your own childhood, then Mr. McCammon hit a home run there, because that is just a wonderful book. It's got a great mystery and all that stuff. But guys, just the experience of childhood, he nails it. The magic of a bicycle, of your best friends, you know, people coming in and out of your lives and things like that. Things that you thought were so important when you were 11 years old, you know, and you realize as a, you know, a jaded adult that it really wasn't that big a deal. But at that time, he captures all that stuff just really well. And it's a book, guys, that I would recommend to everyone, whether you love that genre or not. I think that you would have a great time with it. So I hope more of you will pick it up, because I absolutely loved it. If I'm doing my my end of the year right now, it's going to be in consideration for #1 overall that I've read so far this year. So that tells you how much I did love that book. So guys, I hope you will check it out. Book of the month for May, Boy's Life, Mr. Robert McCammon. Now, how about for everybody's favorite segment, which is channel growth? And again, guys, I got the timestamps down below if you don't want to watch the math portion of the video. But it is good news, so maybe if you want to stick around for that. I did do some of my most requested videos this month, so I think that helped out and boosted some things. Because, guys, this was the best month for the channel since January. You know, I told you I felt like the trajectory was really going down, and then I said last month it feels like, okay, maybe whatever probation I was on, presumably by the content creator overlords, maybe that had been lifted. If this is any kind of sign of that, it looks like maybe that is correct, but again, it might just be some of those more popular videos. But again, let's talk about 2,195 subscribers. That's almost double last month, guys. Up 1,064 over April. 252,000 views, up 87,000 from April, and 60,000 hours of watch time, which was up 16,000 from April. So again, yes, the best numbers since the month of January for the channel. And yeah, that's always going to put a smile on a content creator's face when you see those 3 statistics all going way up. You got those green arrows when you go into your YouTube studio and you see that. That's just a great thing as a content creator to see. So easily the best month But I think I can thank a few select videos for that, and we're going to kind of talk about those now when we move into most popular content for the month. Now, video that I said was my most requested video, and it's obviously, you can see why. It was my top 10 fantasy series updated. This was as of 2022. Last time I did it was in 2020. Everyone wanted me to update that last year, and I said I didn't feel like enough had changed for me to do that, but I did feel like enough had changed at this point. So I went ahead and did that one, guys. As of recording this, I have 49,000 views on that, all in 1 month. So yes, obviously that brought in a lot of new eyes. I think that one video alone, you can track and see how many subscribers you got from that, like 500 right now, just from that one video alone. So yeah, that did give me a little bit of a signal boost, obviously, and that's always welcome. But updating a list like that, it can be fun. It can also be bad, So I had a great time doing it, and I hope that a lot of people understood. I'm getting a lot less of how could you leave this series off when I haven't read it before than I got with that first video. But I've read a lot more since then, But I do still have a lot. It seems like Thomas Covenant seems to be the one that people are most like upset that I left off when I haven't read it. I own it, but I haven't started those books yet. But you're always going to get stuff like that. But it's been mostly respectful, and that's all you can ask for as a content creator. You got a video that's going to get that many eyes on it. You get a lot of people who are not subscribed. It's their first interaction with your channel. And yeah, they're going to say, hey, what's going on? They don't watch every single day, so they don't know how you feel about these things. So it's best I could have asked for, really, the reception for that video. Next up with 18,000 views, this is 12 series that I will not finish. Or I might, but maybe not. That's how I put it. It was just some series I went ahead and just said, I'm going to go ahead and call it, time of death. This is where we're saying that I'm not going to pick these back up. And then I did a few maybes at the end. Those are ones I'm kind of undecided on. And I think that more is just like, I wanted to describe why I was not going to finish some of those series, without getting too far into spoilers and stuff like that. You try to do some of these videos without spoilers. It's tough, guys, especially when you're talking about why you quit a series. But I think I got it across pretty well in there. Didn't have a ton of negative reaction, except when I said I was on maybe on The Witcher, and that was the only one I kind of got negative reaction on. But again, I'm never going to say never on The Witcher. I'm just saying right now, I'm not feeling a yearning to go back to that world right now, but I'm definitely not ruling it out. But the other ones on there, some of those other ones, those first 12, yeah, I'm pretty much done. I don't see anything that can bring me back to those. Then 16,000 views, guys. This was If You Love This, Try This Next. Now, this is just like similar series. You say if you like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, then hey, you'd like Dresden Files, that kind of thing. Or I did Hellblazer, not Buffy. Hellblazer, then you like Dresden Files, that kind of thing. Something similar. Hey, you like this series? I think that you would like this series. I'm not saying they're the same. I'm saying that if you like that, you'll probably end up enjoying this series as well. I thought that created a lot of new conversation, a lot of people cursing me, saying I've expanded their TBRs once again. Well, guys, that is the goal here, is to get you to spend your money on books and to read more. So I do not feel bad. I always love spending you guys' money, and that video seemed to help a lot. So if I can get a lot of, the goal of all those things, guys, is just to get a lot of series that people haven't given a shot, like a Red Rising, like a Faithful in the Fall, and things like that, getting people to give those series a try if they haven't done it yet. So hopefully mission accomplished there. Book haul videos are always going to be on this list, but I'm glad for the first time in a while, it isn't the top video for the month. 14,000 views, my book haul for April of 2022. Will be a significantly longer one than May. I didn't treat myself very much in May, and didn't get very much in the mail this month. So hey, maybe you guys are finally realizing I've got everything that I don't know, but I always do appreciate anything you guys want to send me, and anytime I can do any kind of video like that, thanking you guys for how wonderful I think you are, and showing what you were kind enough to send me, I'm always going to do that because I think it's a lot of fun. And then with 7,000 views, the only review on here this month, guys, this is Legend of Drizzt. This is the Dark Elf trilogy. Had a great time with that series. I flew through those books so quick. They're so fun. I can't wait to return to that world. Don't know when it's going to happen, but as far as that first taste of, Forgotten Realms, I had a blast with it, and I can't wait to do some more. As for some of my favorites that didn't quite, meet those numbers, the Hobbit review, I've realized that apparently Tolkien just isn't super popular with my audience, which is wild, since that's my favorite fantasy series ever. But again, I get it. Not everything is for everyone. Stephen King's my favorite author, and those aren't the best videos as far as interaction and engagement go on the channel. So that's fine. But yeah, anytime I can talk about Mr. Tolkien, talk about the book that I cut my fantasy teeth on, The Hobbit, I love to do that. And then, of course, Saturday night's debut episode, where it's basically like the expanded version of Talk About Nothing. My first guests were Alan from Library Alexandria, Alan Alexandria, Sarah from Sarah Reads, and of course Dr. Philip Chase. So anytime I can get those three wonderful people to come on the channel, it's a blessing for me that they would say yes, and they would sit here and talk to me for 3+ hours. Very fun conversation. We covered everything from our favorite books to what's wrong with the education system. You know, so you always know that a conversation like that, when you got 4 personalities as varying as those are, that the conversation is going to go everywhere. But it's a fun new segment. I'm hoping that people like enough that I can do about one of these a month, just like I do Talk About Nothing, because I had a blast with it, and I've already kind of started planning who my next guests are going to be. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the content. How about a flop? I didn't do my flop of the month last month. I forgot about it. Now, a flop of the month, obviously, just my least watched video for the month. I don't count off the books, which I didn't do one this month, and I don't count weekly updates. So with this one, it's going to be at 3,000 views. This is my top 10 Dresden Files characters. And I'm not going to be too hard on myself for that one, because I know that it's because it had spoilers in it. And I said at the beginning of the video, I don't usually do spoiler content on the channel unless it's a spoiler talk. But with this, I find it hard to talk about why you like some of these characters without going into spoilers. I tried doing it with Red Rising one time, and it was just the most boring, dull videos. I'm like, I like them. They're really cool. You know, with this, I had to talk about where those characters started and where they've ended up, you know, in book 17 of that series. So again, I'm not going to be too rough on myself, but you know, guys ask me all the time, why do you not do a lot of spoiler content? Because a lot of people, a lot of my audience can't watch it. And I don't want to do that to them. I don't want to feel like I'm alienating my audience by saying, hey, if you just read it, too bad. Read these 17 books and you can come back later. You know, I don't like to do that very often, but I will do it once in a while. How about some channel goals before I go? There are a few, guys. We did hit 70,000 subscribers this month, so that's a tasty little treat, isn't it? You know, in the long term, it doesn't really mean anything, you know, hitting a certain milestone like that, you know, unless it's like, you know, you get your 100,000, you get your nice plaque and things like that. But, you know, it's always a fun round number. You know, the memes of 69,000 didn't last very long. Nice. But we got to 70,000, and hey, that's cool. That's really, really great. I had an internal goal for this year, which was 75,000 by the end of the year. So we are on track. That'd be really, really cool to hit. But again, like I said, does it really matter? Not really. It's just fun as a content creator to say, hey, you know, when I started this, my goal was 5,000 subs and you hit 70. It's really, really cool, I think, as a content creator. I just really want to kind of keep wrapping up everything this month because we are starting that Codex Alera read-along on the Discord starting in July. July, August, September, we're doing 2 books per month. If you guys want to join us, jump on the Discord and join us there. I think that you guys would have a blast. That is an official channel read-along. We did Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and then we're going to do Codex Alera. That's the only 2 official channel read-alongs we're having this year. This one was actually presented by one of my patrons, Steph, one of my favorites. She actually brought this up because she actually bought the series for me last year, and I said, when you want to read it, we will read it. So she gave me until I finished Malazan. But you know what? We stayed with the schedule that we had, which was July, August, and September for that. So I can't wait to do it. But as for the channel, guys, any other goals? Not really. Just, you know, keep trying new things. Continue to listen to you guys. Listen to feedback. Listen to criticism. Those are things I'm always here to do. That's why I still throw up polls once in a while, because I like to take the pulse of what you guys want. Because in the end, that's what I want to do. I want to do content that you guys want to watch, want to engage with, want to talk about. And again, I just hope that, like always, the goal always here is to make sure that this continues to feel like a place that is welcome for anyone and everyone. Because in the end, guys, my goal is to get you to read more. That's my whole mission statement. And I hope that you guys continue to feel like a part of the channel, because that's really the vibe that I do go for. So guys, how was your month? What was your book of the month? Why don't you drop in the comments and let me know, and I will talk to you there.